Hello all and welcome to another Kevin Entertainment video. It's Art here with the book review for Murder in Little Egypt by Darcy O'Brien. It was the June 2024 book club book pick. It's the true crime story of the Cavaniss family and the murderer that is Dr. John Dale Cavaniss. Darcy O'Brien sets it up wonderfully in that he leads in with a story almost 100 to 150 years preceding the events depicted in this, and shows the camaraderie of the area known as Little Egypt. Little Egypt is in the extreme southern tip of the state of Illinois, and it contains a bunch of small towns where everything is tight-knit. It's a world unto itself is the best way to describe it. Dr. John Dale Cavaniss was revered in his town. He was, by all accounts, the best doctor that the area of Little Egypt had ever seen up until that point. But the only best way I can put it is that he was deranged. He murdered chiefly his own family members, 2 of them, but he murdered more people than just that, which in my mind makes him a serial killer. Darcy O'Brien doesn't call him this, but in my mind, he murdered, I think it was 4 or 5 people, which only takes 3 to become a serial killer. So, it is that I do think Darcy O'Brien did a wonderful job of laying out the facts of the case, of laying out the facts and the events that led up to the events in the book. I think he did a completely wonderful job in this nature. I am a fan of true crime, but even this one had me shaking my head, because to be quite fair and quite honest, the town saw what he was. His wife saw what he was before any of the really heinous, terrible things happened. So he could have been stopped before any of the heinous, terrible things happened. He certainly had a godlike complex in that he felt his power was so absolute down in Little Egypt that he couldn't be stopped. Should this book be read? Well, if you like true crime, this is one that flew under the radar for me thanks to the book club I read it, and thanks goodness I read it, because it was an intriguing, enthralling, horrifying tale that should not be missed. I think horrifying is a fair, justifiable word for it, but I think Darcy O'Brien does the best job he can to paint it in the most factual light. That being said, I do think he took a little bit of narrative liberties, which maybe he had to fill out the book. I don't know, but I do feel like he took a little bit of narrative liberties with the book. I am surprised that there, in my search, there doesn't seem to be any news file footage from the trial, which happened in 1985, not all that long ago. So, there should have been and could have been and maybe ought to have been file footage of the trial so we could see what, and Darcy O'Brien never went into what made John Dale Cavaniss tick, which I think was a missing part, because I want to know what made him commit the atrocities he committed, because these were atrocities, these were downright tragedies in their own right. I'm glad the tragedies are getting a spotlight through this book, because I feel like the victims, it's kind of like Orson Scott Card's second book of the Ender's Game trilogy, Speaker for the Dead. These books speak for the dead of John Dale Cavness. Yes, I'll give Darcy O'Brien credit. He didn't glorify John Dale Cavness. He let you see the monster behind the curtain. You know, it reminds me of that scene from Wizard of Oz. Don't peek behind the curtain. Well, when you peek behind this curtain, there's a downright malicious monster behind it. Who should read the book? Anybody that likes true crime, anybody that wants a fascinating story, but this will stick with you. This book has stuck with me. It has definitely left me in a little bit of a book hangover. It hasn't stuck with me in a weird way. It stuck with me in a way of, like, I'm trying to wrap my head around what I read and why no one stopped him prior to when he stepped out of Little Egypt and did an atrocity. And that's where the line was drawn, because that community was like, nope, you're not getting away with this. We don't care who you are. We will find you. You may be clever, but we will find you. We will stop you. And damn sure they did. The book for me is an incredible, incredible read. Anybody that likes true crime should read it. Anybody that wants a good historical narrative that you can fact check very easily on Google. That's how I knew Darcy O'Brien did a very good job with what he had done, because it was easily fact checkable. It was easily done and done well. I thought Darcy O'Brien did a bang up wonderful job. And I could not imagine what it would be like to live in that family and be one of the members of the families of his victims, because he is just and it leaves me with a bunch of questions that I'm going to ask in book club. If you guys want me to do a deep dive, let me know in the comments down below, because we can do a deep dive of the book and I can get into some of my theories and some of my thoughts, and some where I think Darcy O'Brien could have elaborated a little bit more had he been able to find the facts. Maybe he didn't elaborate a little bit more because he couldn't find the facts. I do think he did a wonderful job of sticking to the facts and not really embellishing the narrative too much, but he did a good job in putting a narrative together that fit the facts, that told a coherent, readable story. It is a 5 out of 5 on the GoodReads scale. It is a read it, own it, love it. Even though it was creepy, it was a well done, masterfully crafted book. It was just top notch, bar none, an excellent, excellent read. It was enjoyable, and I think I would read more of things by Darcy O'Brien if they were done with the same polish, in the same vein. I think I would gladly pick up more of Darcy O'Brien. But leave in the comments down below if you guys have read Murder in Little Egypt or have read any true crime that you think I need to read. Leave that in the comments down below. Also, leave in the comments down below if you'd like to see me do a deep dive on some of my theories and where I think Darcy O'Brien could have elaborated if he would have found facts. Let me know that in the comments down below as well. But until next time, you know I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Please ding the notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. And without further ado, happy reading. I'll see you again soon. And peace.